Hey, call me Shape, and today I'm reacting to a video titled, I Don't and Won't Date Black Men Anymore. Let's get right into it.
A little bit about me before we get into this video. I'm clearly a melanated woman or black woman, and I'm extremely independent. I've been living alone since I was 22 years old. I'm college educated. I have a career in corporate America. I have a very healthy income. I'm able to provide everything that I want for myself. I have no debt, and I live in a very high cost of living area, and I do this all by myself with ease. I take care of myself. These by virtue would,
AKA she's a modern woman and a feminist. But let her continue, let her finish.
peg me as the stereotypical black woman, except for the fact that I'm not obese, because that is what these crazy black men try to say is black women are undesirable, they're obese, they don't take care of themselves, they have nasty attitudes, which I have a badass attitude as well. So like I said, I definitely fall into the stereotype of a undesirable black woman.
An angry black woman. Say it right, an angry black woman.
However, none of that stops me from dating and choosing very consciously to not and never again date black men. And I have a little list here, which only took me about 3 seconds to put together, of why I don't date black men. Now, the first reason is because they're extremely insecure. If you've seen my last video, then you know how I talked about black people, melanated people victimizing themselves to white people is not a flex. It's not something that is respectable. It's not something that's dignified. It's not really something that's going to help you propel and move forward in your life. I've never dated a black man that didn't talk about his
experience as a black man
and talk about how
the man is always trying to keep him down.
And it's so sickening.
So you never dated a black man that was a well-to-do black man that had his life and things going for himself. Is it a black man's fault that the only kind of black men you attract are not successful, high-value men? Is it a black man's fault that you attract bums and losers? Or is it your fault, right? You're blaming black men, but you know that there's some black men that don't feel like they're being held down by the man, right? Because, listen, I'm from Trinidad. We don't even believe in that kind of stuff, right? In Trinidad, everybody's black. So we don't have that same concept of racism as the FBAs, the foundational black Americans do. We don't. Okay, so not everyone looks like the white man's holding me down. Of course not, right? That's the victim mindset. So to me, you're just describing the fact that you're just revealing the fact that you've only dated black men that were victims, aka beta males.
Disgusting. And it's my experience dating every single black man that I've dated. They've always talked about how their experience as a black man in America is one that is filled with hatred and racism, I guess. Although secretly, I believe every single black man would find themselves at a higher status if they actually had dated or possessed, was in a relationship with a woman of non-color. But that's really neither here nor there.
You think, okay, so you think we could elevate if we date, okay. So you date black men that are oppressed by white men in their mind, right? That's what they believe. That's what they choose to believe. And you believe that they actually could elevate themselves if they date white women. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me, but we will continue and we'll listen.
I really hope that black men find their preferences away from black women so that they can continue to level up and do them and go about their merry way and be great. Another topic in the being insecure, I noticed that black men are really crabs in a bucket. Black men just can't stand to see someone doing better than them. They're very jealous and insecure as well. I don't know what this stems from. Regardless though, instead of uplifting people, they want to bring them down and knock them down a peg to where they feel that they can be on top of whoever it is that they're dealing with. And
Okay, so this whole insecurity play, it's a feminist play against men. This is not something that you could describe just black men, you know what I'm saying, feel like they're victim, right? Or they're insecure. That's not a black man thing. To say black men are insecure is wild and crazy and just plain out wrong. Okay, and honestly, like, it's a women's way of trying to describe something that they don't understand. Women are trying to describe a man as insecure if he doesn't do what they want them to do. So insecure is not even a reliable insult, a reliable accusation, because women just use that to describe anybody that doesn't do what they want them to do. You want to obey me? Oh, you're insecure. You don't let me sleep with other men? Oh, you're insecure. You don't let me wear this dress? Oh, you're insecure. Everything's just insecurity. How about this? I don't think black women give us security because they're out here unsecured, uncovered, talking ish on YouTube and TikTok about us. And so we get on this channel and we defend ourselves, right? Not really defend ourselves, but we just call you out on your BS. Okay, so no, you don't attract high-value black men, say it, because not every black girl is going to agree with you that all black men are insecure and feel like they're being held down by the white man. I don't feel that way. You'll never, I have 400 videos. I dare you to find one video where I said, I think the white man is holding me down. Please, 400.
Notice this amongst black men that I don't even date. Black men who are supposed to be my mentors. Black men who are supposed to be leaders. As soon as it comes down to them being challenged in any way, when it comes down to them being questioned in any way, they need to throw their authority and force it onto me, in my experience, or whoever it is that is a black woman. They just want to keep a black woman down and keep a black woman in her.
Okay, we don't care about this whole keep a black woman. What do we get out of keeping black women down? What do I get out of it? We want to keep you down. Why are we? You're the one. Actually, I figured it out now. You're the one that feels you're being oppressed, because what you're describing right now has nothing even to do with like social interactions. You're describing a scenario where the people that you're dealing with are oppressed and they believe they're oppressed. I think you believe you're oppressed. I think you think that if you date a white man, you'll elevate yourself the way you're suggesting that black men date white people. I don't feel no threats from white people. I respect, shout out to white people, whatever. But I grew up in a town where it was a small white suburb, right? And I was one of the few black families there, but I was also one of the kids that lived in the wealthier side of this poor white suburb. And when I tell you that all my friends lived in smaller houses than me, and their dad didn't drive brand new cars, and didn't earn as much money, and they didn't go on as many trips, and they didn't have a chandelier when they walked inside their house growing up, right? I walked inside my house, I had a chandelier about 20 feet above my head growing up. This is me, okay? So that, even as a young kid, I never looked at white people to be superior to me, right? Because I grew up in an all-white town, and we were some of the richest people, richest family living there, okay? But this is for black people, like people like her that think every white person is rich and every black person is poor. You're stereotypical. You stereotype everything. You have a lot of prejudice against black people, and you think that you could define all black men by your anecdotal experience. No. The people that you thought were leaders, that you trying to keep you down, they're beta men. They're simps, okay? And they just happen to be black, right? I'm going to give you credit. Okay, I'm going to take your word for it. These dudes were simps. They were beta. They try to oppress you, okay? But even that, the wording of oppress you, is so ridiculous. Who could really oppress you? Who could really put you in shackles and chains? Who could really force you to do anything? You live in a free world. If any black man tries to force you to do anything against your will, you got a number you could call, right? And they will show up and arrest that black man. So whatever you are talking about, trying to keep you and oppress you, is nothing compared to the real slavery and oppression that our people went through in this country. Okay, so don't even compare it. It's an unfair comparison. It's not even fit. And honestly, to me, it's virtue signaling, and it's just weak. It's just a weak supporting statement.
Place. Now, the next reason why I don't date black men is because they're just too feminine. I'm going to be honest with you. Extremely feminine, lazy. Black men are just lazy as hell. They're hella unhealthy. They die very young because they don't take care of their health. I get up and I go to the gym at 5 o'clock, 5:30 most mornings. On weekends, I'm at the gym when it opens, 8 o'clock. I don't ever see black men in the gym. Now, granted, I live in San Diego, so there may not be that many black men in gym.
Black men are lazy, black men are feminine, black men are unhealthy, and they're unfit. You never see black men in the gym, according to her. Well, you never been to my gym, because I'm a personal trainer at the gym. And I remember at the very end of the year, I've been working at this gym for 3 years, a very nice gym. They sent me a recap of my entire year, and they said I was in the gym for 327 days out of 365. 327 days I was in the gym. So again, you're describing a minority of black men that you're surrounded by that are weak, beta, and I'm not surprised. Look in the democratic place they're living, right? I live in New Jersey, but California, San Diego, I mean, you don't get more left-wing than that, right? So, of course, black men are failing where you're from, and you're succeeding as a black woman in corporate America. Of course. That's exactly what modern feminism is doing over there, right? And that's what the left-wing radical liberals are doing over there. Okay, of course, I get it. But to say black men are unhealthy and lazy, listen, this is the 5th video I'm making today. I make 5 videos a day on YouTube. I put out almost 100 videos this month. Some people don't even put out 100 videos in a year, okay? And I still work out, and I still feed myself, and I cook for myself because I live alone, okay? And I'm healthy. I'm vegan. I'm very confident that you're not healthier than me, and if you don't believe me, we could both take a blood test, okay? And let the numbers speak for themselves. What's your LDL? What's your ADL? What's your triglycerides? Right? Let's see what they really are. Because in my personal opinion, if you eat any animal product, a single morsel more than me, because I don't eat any, right? And the average American eats 60 pounds of ground beef a year, or on average, 120 pounds of chicken, 40 pounds of cheese every year. So it's 250 pounds of organic material that never touches my body or my bowels at all every year. If you eat a morsel of that, just even a portion of that, you're unhealthier than me. Why? I don't want to get into it because I can talk about plant-based and veganism lifestyle all I want, but that at the end of the day, if you don't agree that fresh fruit and vegetables are the healthiest plants or the healthiest things you can eat on the planet, you're crazy, all right? I don't got to argue that. If you don't believe that kale and sweet potatoes and rice and broccoli and beans are healthy for you, and fruits such as bananas, strawberries, blueberries, and mangoes are healthy for you, and water is healthy for you, then I don't know what you're talking about. If you believe that powder that you be consuming out of those jars, I'm sure she eats all the protein powder, right? You're just healthier. You eat the most processed of processed foods. Protein is a super processed foods. I eat whole foods, like the name of the supermarket, Whole Foods. There's a reason why it's called Whole Foods, because they're trying to let you know that that's the healthiest food you can eat. All the foods in the produce section. So no, you're not healthier than me. You're definitely lazier than me. Look, you have less subscribers than me. You probably put out less videos than me. If we have to go video for video, I mean, I don't even want to keep talking about this. You probably have less overall channel views than me. So you're a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. You live in California. I live in Jersey. And you're definitely not healthier than me. You're not, you don't work out more than me. You're probably not more fit than me. And this is not really against me versus you. I'm just trying to show you that I'm not the stereotypical black man you're describing. Therefore, all the black men you're talking about are just that, the minority of black men that you have experience with. And I have a huge issue with women that come on here and talk bad about black men because they're shitty experiences. You had a shitty experience because clearly you're a shitty woman. You're okay, you're decent, you're not that attractive. You have a bad attitude. And a lot of men, like you said, try to oppress you because they don't want to hear what you got to say. And I took the time out to listen to what you got to say. And I'm here to respond to you without even watching your full video. I'm here to respond to you that everything you're saying is bullshit. It's self-inflicted. You can't attract the high-value men you really want. You can't. You can't. And you wouldn't pass the Kevin Samuel sniff test a day in your life. You're average at best, if anything, mediocre, because you're racist. Explain that. Explain that. Okay, so this whole country knows there's a bunch of successful, well-to-do black men. Right? Some of them famous, some of them not. Okay? Some authors, right? Some politicians, right? Some surgeons, some doctors. We got a lot of well-to-do black people. Okay? And if the ones that you're surrounded by are trying to oppress you and they're beta, move. Move. California's under fire anyway. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the victims of the California wildfires. It's sad to see this kind of stuff. Living on the East Coast, I'm like, man, in Jersey, we never see anything like this. So that'd be wild to experience, to see 2,000 structures burn up in flames in a matter of days or hours. That's wild. So rest in peace to all the families out there. But I'm talking about for you from a perspective, if you're not around a demographic of black men you want, because clearly you want black men because you got on this video to talk ish about black men. So look, we're still on your mind. We're living in your head rent free. This video's not about white men. This video's not about how great white men are. This video's about how bad black men are. And don't, in general, first of all, you're generalizing, so that's not very lady of you, because a lot of women say generalizing is bad. They don't. There's always shades of gray, right? What happened to that? What happened to that? You know, so you're generalizing, And instead of just dating, you want to be a divester and date outside the race? Just do it. Just date outside the race. Go ahead. You don't got to drag black people because you want to date a white man. I'm for it. You want to date a white guy? Go ahead. The question is, do they want to date you? I doubt it. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. I had to roast this chick. I had to. Even though, you know what? I wish the best for you, baby. You know, you have a lot of potential. You just got to change what's up here. You got stones up here, all right? Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you guys over there.